Good afternoon, everyone. It's Corey here. I am on Chanheungdao Street. This is the street that I actually live along. And right behind me over here is the main Hanoi Railway Station. It's the main train station in Hanoi City. So today's walk is going to be going down Chanheungdao Street. And this street runs right through the center of Hanoi from west to east, east to west. And so I'm just gonna start from here. This is the very west edge of Chanheungdao Street. And then we're gonna go all the way east to the very end. I don't know exactly how many kilometers it is, but we're gonna go there. We're gonna see some stuff along the way, and I'll kind of point out some stuff. And I guess talk while I'm doing it, because the last time that I did one of these videos, I didn't talk at all. And I got a lot of feedback from a lot of you guys saying you wish I had spoken about anything. So I will go back to my original ways of doing these walking videos by talking and walking at the same time. So let's go ahead and start. So it's a Monday afternoon. It's about 2 p.m., maybe a little after that. And it's actually cold again. So I'm wearing long sleeves and jean pants. And it's about 18 or 19 degrees Celsius. I think that's like 67 degrees or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool enough that, you know, here in Vietnam, we're so used to hot weather that this feels really cold. But maybe to other people who, you know, live in North America or Europe or wherever where it gets cold often, this is like nothing. This is like t-shirt and shorts weather for you guys. Anyway, the lunch rush is over. So people are, you know, back to their offices, so it's not as crowded. But we're gonna go ahead and just walk down the sidewalk pretty much the entire way. And I'll be crossing this street a few times throughout the video to point out different things along the way. Yeah, I can see all these motorcycles. This is on the sidewalk. The sidewalk has become parking. That's how it is here in Vietnam. And yeah, so we'll see a lot of that along the way. A lot of motorcycle dodging on the sidewalk as well. There'll be times I might have to walk in the road. Not too sure. Yeah, it was actually raining this morning just a little bit. So I did bring my little umbrella with me just in case. But it feels so nice to actually be walking around in this cool weather. For some reason, like a month and a half ago, it was this cold, and then it just got hot again. So like a few days ago, it was hot. And that's kind of weird because last year, this time, you know, the end of like mid-November, it was cold. So I'm looking forward to the winter season here in Hanoi. It's a good break. Yeah, so coming up here is a bakery. I don't know how to pronounce French words. It's called Eau de Source, this one. And it's one of the only French-owned bakeries in the city. That was Silen inside. Looks like he was talking, so I won't bother him. But anyways, cool guy. He's from southern France. Legit French baker. They have good pastries and breads and sandwiches and stuff there. That's where I go often. So that alley across the street, I live down there. That's where my house is. We're gonna keep going this way. We're going eastbound right now. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about Chanheungdao Street. It's actually named after a famous Vietnamese prince and general. He was a military general and an imperial prince. And he is one of the most iconic Vietnamese like historical figures ever. He defeated like Mongol invasions in the 13th century. I think 3 different times the Mongols tried to take over Vietnam, and during the Chan Dynasty. And yeah, Chanheungdao, he defeated them 3 times. So very famous name. Oh, look at that. Look at the styrofoam on that motorcycle. Yeah, so this is a roundabout right here near my house. That's Kwan Su Street. And can you see the buildings across the way? Those are old French buildings. They were all part of what used to be here back in the day, in like the year 1902 or something. It was the Palace of, I forget what it's called, Palace of Expositions or something like that. It was an expo. So this is not the original structure, but this is still a convention hall and like an art center. They do like theater performances and musicals and other like cool events. Anyway, so those buildings across the way, they were part of that whole like expo palace. And it's like every 3 days they have a new kind of a expo convention kind of a thing. Like right now, it looks like there's some kind of a like a growing like farming type of convention. So it's like farming equipment and like technology and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. All right, let's continue the walk. I do want to say along the way, there are some buildings that have security guards in front. I don't know if they're going to tell me to stop filming or not. There's a lot of sensitive buildings around here that the government's pretty, I guess the word is anal, anal about you if you're going to like take photos or film. So hopefully no one stops me and tells me to stop filming or anything like that. But along the way, this street, Chanhengdao, there's several embassies as well. So we'll see some of the embassies, and yeah. Ouch, loud screeching noise from the brakes. That guy has a bird cage. Waiting for our chance to go here. It's like as soon as the walking light turns green, people from the other way are going to start going, so. Yep, see, it's green for me, but there's just people, like that guy almost hit me just now. So it's kind of like you need to go or just don't go. Because if you don't go, everyone's just going to go and you'll never have a chance to go. It's kind of how it works here. Coming up is, I think, a police museum, Vietnamese police museum. And coming up is a security guard. We'll see if, he'll probably look at me and be like, what is this guy filming? But I'm just gonna pretend I'm a dumb tourist who's never been here before. And film everything until someone tells me no. He didn't stop me. Okay, anyway, this is the police museum. So they show the guys in the like khaki uniform, they are traffic cops. They deal with traffic related stuff. The guys in the green are just like civil police. They deal with like domestic stuff and whatever. I forget what the dark color is and what the light color is, but I think the blue is firefighters. Yeah, I'll have to have the info on the video later when I edit it. Anyways, it's cool. Police museum. Haven't been in it. Really had no interest to check it out, but maybe one day I'll pop my head in and see what it's about. Along the entire street, like there's so many cafes all the way to the very end. Cafes, restaurants, some bakeries. Yeah, and the guys with the light blue shirt, like the one that just walked by, he's not like an official cop. They're pretty much like hired security. Mainly, like so this guy coming up here chilling, he's one of them too. They're like security for the businesses. They're, you know, privately hired. And they also deal with the parking. They're like parking attendants. So they deal with the money, like if you have to pay to park or whatever. And then, you know, they'll pull your motorcycle out of this mess here. They'll pull it out for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. This is a bank. They got 2 guards, and they're both staring at me like, what is he doing? And just never-ending motorcycles. Look at that. This is annoying. Cannot walk, so I have to go around. Yeah, sometimes when I wake up and, you know, I have some coffee or whatever, then I go for a walk. And this is usually the road that I walk on, just because it's easy and it's not too bad. You know, it's a big wide sidewalk, so it's not like some of the other places around the city where it's just impossible to walk. Here you can see, like, I have no problem walking on the sidewalk here. So here's a cool building. I forget if this is like the Cambodian embassy. Oh, it is. Yeah, here. It says Royal Embassy of Cambodia. Yeah. So that's this building with the banana trees. Oh, it's hard to see. Anyway, we'll keep walking. Did you hear them laughing? I don't know if you could or not. They were having a jolly old time on that bike. So across the street is the Embassy of India. Okay, good timing with the bus. Across the street is the Embassy of India, and that building, like, it's really beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna try to go across the street and show you guys. Ooh, I still have the green. Okay, let's go. Green pedestrian light. Oh, it's red. It's all good. Man, literally everybody at that red light just stared at me when I walked by. They're like, what is he holding? It's a camera, guys. Have you never seen a camera? Anyway, yeah, so this place is the Embassy of India, and it's a really beautiful building. Hopefully I can get a good shot of it. You can see here it says Embassy of India. It's pretty cool, huh? And I'm not sure if the ambassador also lives here or not, but they have this cool gate with some peacocks. And you can see the nice house. There's a flag for India. And then there's a picture of Mohandas Gandhi inside there. Can you see that? And let's see here. This is a better shot of the house. And this like really beautiful French colonial style architecture. Really, really cool. And I like this like slate gray or something. Like it's a really cool, like a cool colored gray. It has like a blue tone to it. But that's just awesome. I love that. Yeah, so we're actually in part of the, like on the edge of the French Quarter. So we're gonna see a lot of buildings that have French influence or that were built by the French. For example, this restaurant across the street is an old French house converted into a restaurant. Maison Seine. It's kind of like an upper scale restaurant. And another French influence thing is this place right here. This is called Marot. And Marot is a chocolate business. And yeah, you can just see it. It says chocolaterie. Super famous. Whoa, and check out this vintage bike. Very cool. And speaking of France again, and French influence, we're here on Bachu Street. This is a main, like north-south bound street right through the center of Hanoi. But across the street over there, diagonally, that big white building, it's a huge compound. That is the French embassy, the Embassy of France. It's very large, and I can imagine why, because of France's influence in Vietnam for so long. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, French Indochina, during the French occupation of pretty much the whole Indochina peninsula, the French made their capital here in Hanoi. It was a good location, and so they decided to take over it. There's more behind the big white building. On the other side of it, there's like some smaller, I guess like homes that were converted into office spaces and stuff. So yeah, I can't see it from this side. I'm a popular guy today. Everybody is staring at me. Like, what is he holding? It's a GoPro, guys. GoPro. I'm sure you've seen it before. You can see the French flag across the street and like a house. It's very nice. I'm gonna keep walking straight on this sidewalk. Oh, before I keep going, can you see across the way? Really nice old French house. That thing is old. All right, I think the Embassy of Indonesia is up next, if I remember correctly. And then after that, I'm not sure what other embassies are on the street. I just knew that India, Cambodia, France, and Indonesia are on this street. But there's a lot of embassies in and around this area, in the old French Quarter area. This is a hat and helmet store right here in the pink. I'm a huge hat guy, as you could tell in all my videos. I wear hats, but they don't have any hats that I like. All the styles are kind of janky. Yeah, if you're tall and walking down this sidewalk, you could get hit by these ropes overhead hanging the tarps. It's happened to me a few times. I'm 6 feet tall, so yeah, anyway. It's a cool cafe. Oh, forgot about this. It's the Embassy of Qatar across the street, directly across the street. And they have an LCD screen of somebody on there. I don't know who that guy is, but that's the Embassy of Qatar. And then next door is, what was it? I don't know. Anyways. Whoa. Old French building. Look at the doorway. That's cool. It's got stained glass as well. Here's a cafe. This is part of like Indonesian tourism, their office. And here is the Indonesian embassy right here. And in huge letters, it says Indonesia. So that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it's interesting that all this stuff's like on the street that I live on. And then a little known fact about Indonesia and like how it somehow relates to me. Look at this, I can't even get, okay, this is my only way. These guys are playing chess. So what I was gonna say was about Indonesia and how it relates to me. So a long time ago, like, frick, I don't even know, like 17, 18 years ago, I used to study with my friend, Indonesian Pencak Silat. And that's an Indonesian martial arts. And yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, and it was like specifically with Kuntao Silat. It's like a form of Silat that was created by Willem de Tor. And he's a Dutch Indonesian guy from back in the day, like plantation style martial arts master. You know, where they're like punching their fingers through banana trees and kicking coconut trees and stuff, like old school training. Anyway, yeah, little known fact. I used to do that. Just more cafes everywhere. Yeah, the cafe culture in this city is very vibrant. And what's really cool is all the old French style buildings, they build the cafes into them. So it's just these like really charming old places that have been converted into cafes. And I don't know, just never experienced cafes like that anywhere else. Take a look around at this intersection just to show you guys what it looks like. So this place right here is the Ministry of Finance, according to that sign in English, because I cannot read Vietnamese. Across the way. Yeah, anyway, let's keep going. There's still a little bit ways to go, and then it's gonna end. Chan Hung Dao Street will end. But we'll still see some cool stuff along the way. Yeah, in my apartment hunting videos, if you go through my videos from last year, I was doing some apartment hunting in this area. This is a restaurant, Chaka restaurant. And here's a different kind of restaurant. This is like a Vietnamese restaurant, kind of like more modern style. Yeah, so you can see it's kind of nice in there. The place is always packed at lunchtime. This is just a little corner street, like chill tea spot. Get some drinks, smoke some tobacco. Xin chào. And yeah, very common sight to see. Hello, doggy. Smell me. Oh, okay. Seemed a little bit cautious, so I didn't want to immediately try to touch him or her. Check out these banyan trees. There's just, I'm sure you've seen them earlier in the video. There's just a ton of banyan trees down this street. They're really cool. I always have the hanging roots, the root system here. Really awesome. Here's more old French buildings that still exist and are occupied. I think this is like an apartment complex. I'm not sure. Oh, it says Center for International Cooperation. Okay, I don't know what that's supposed to actually mean, but anyway, it's neat. Old French balconies. And then one of the coolest places I've seen is the one that's across the street. It might be kind of hard to see from over here, but it's this huge French building with this wraparound balcony on the second floor. That is just awesome. There's another old building right next to it. Yeah, there's a little school here. I think it's like a preschool. I don't know if you can hear the children on the other side of this wall. Some shops. Check this place out. Wow. Check out the fence. The fence is cool too. I want to say these are residential because I've seen before this gate open and inside the parking right here there was like a BMW. Oh yeah, there's a Mercedes in there, but before there was a BMW also. So I think these are residences for somebody very important or someone with a lot of money. What's in this one? Now there's a Lexus inside of that one. Okay, so I know I had some questions from people before about what does a gas station in Vietnam look like, and this is a perfect example right across the street, Petrolimex. This is like one of the main gas station brands or companies or whatever. But this is how it works in the gas station. So these cars are lined up. This guy's literally just in the middle of the street waiting to go behind that white taxi. And that blue car is also behind him. And that's just how it goes. People line up in the street and kind of block traffic sometimes. And then the two stations over on the right side, those are for motorcycles. And when it gets packed, it's crazy. There's no one knows how to line up or get in a queue. And so everyone's just cutting in front of each other to get to the pump first. But right now it looks pretty orderly. But trust me, when it's packed, it's like chaos. So we got a modern style building across the street this way, and then directly across from it are these old apartment looking complexes. So it's a pretty big drastic difference between the two. Which way am I going to go? I think I'm going to go across the street this way. All right, and pray I don't get hit. There's no crosswalk light at this one, so I have to just go when I can. And that's when your wisdom of the Vietnamese roads comes into play. Look around. All right, no one's running the red light. I'm good. So coming up is a very large hospital, really, really large hospital. I can see it all the way from my rooftop. It's really big. But along this street, this area, there's all dentistry businesses. So there's a dental clinic there, there's one there, and there's also pharmacies and stuff. So we'll walk right by some. And a very common thing to see in Vietnam are patients in hospital gowns walking around and chilling, smoking cigarettes and drinking tea. Kind of the same as in Korea. They believe that patients, if they're inpatients, they should have the freedom to, within certain limits, be able to walk around outside for some, fresh air and some exercise. It helps boost their morale, and they believe it actually helps them heal better. And I can totally see how that would work. I would hate to just be in a room all day, every day. I would want to go outside, go to the park, chill out, at the tea stand, just down the street. It's all dental clinics, dental clinic. Here's a pharmacy. More dental clinics. Whoa, she laid the law down. See that? She slapped at that guy's face. She's like, move over there now. That was kind of awesome. Yeah, so another common sight besides pharmacies and stuff outside of a major hospital is a lot of motorcycles and a lot of motorcycle drivers that want to take you places. It's a good place to help families get to and from the hospital. Yeah, so there's just a lot of these guys waiting around. They could be Grab drivers, they could be fake Grab drivers, taxis. So There's a lot of taxis here. They're all just waiting to pick up somebody. So we gotta like watch out and not get hit. Yeah, but here it is, Military Central Hospital. Yeah, see these Grab drivers? I don't even know if they're legit or not. You can see a lot of these guys just chilling out on corners, not doing anything. Many of them are fake. They're not registered, they're not licensed by Grab or anything, and they just bought a used Grab jacket and a helmet online, and they pretend to be Grab drivers. So if you want to use Grab, always use the app. Book through the app. Do not just walk up to a guy on the street just because he has a jacket, because there's a high chance that he will not be a real Grab driver, and then he'll try to jack you for a price, rip you off. Anyways, we're coming up on the end of Chun Hung Dao here. There's I don't know what that says in Vietnamese, if anybody does. Or maybe I'll just have the info later when I edit. But it's like, I think, a military-related building. And there's another one here on the right side. Here's an example of a guy in a hospital gown. There's one there, and then there's another guy there. Yeah, you can find some good food, cheap food, outside of the hospitals, you know. People buy the food and then they go inside and bring it to their family members or friends, whoever they're visiting in the hospital. So it's cool. It is very noisy right now. These guys are grilling corn and sweet potatoes. It's good winter street food. Yeah, so we're at the end of Chun Hung Dao Street. I'm gonna try to cross and end the video up over there, above where the graffiti is. All right, looks like I'm just gonna have to go for it. Yeah, nobody stops for pedestrians. Some oranges for sale. And we're gonna go up these really steep stairs. Ooh, sweet potato and corn. Yeah, so this is a major road. If you follow this way, it goes all the way around the edge of Hanoi and leads towards the airport. I hope you guys enjoyed this video walking down Chun Hung Dao, the street that I live on, and you know, kind of just experiencing what a Monday afternoon is like here in Hanoi City. Check out the description box for a Google map. It'll show the exact route that I took. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.